this week the story of how 3 women were kidnapped and held captive, some for as many as 10 years, dominated the nation's attention. Whenever there is an unexpected national story which involves a human tragedy, reporters rush in to interview friends and neighbors, and generally the response is, "He seemed like such a nice guy. Quiet, though, kept to himself." Here in Cleveland, Charles Ramsey, who came to the rescue of Amanda Berry and the 2 other women, said, "I barbecued with this dude. We ate ribs and whatnot, and we listened to salsa music. There's nothing exciting about him until today." Susan, is our society becoming coarsened and so conditioned to look the other way?
I think this reminds us again that we do have to look out for our fellow man. The stories that I've heard about this are just outrageous. Like, for instance, one woman said he would come and run, his bus would run for a half hour that he drove a school bus, and he would come in with huge bags of McDonald's. One man said, who played in his band, would visit his house, and he would have to have help getting out the door. There were so many locks. And the stories go on and on. He took this little girl to church and said it was his granddaughter. He took her to parks. "This is my granddaughter." There were all sorts of things in this. The windows were closed. People couldn't get in and out. I think we all need to be a little more human and start thinking about what could be going on in our own neighborhoods.
But every one of those little stories and vignettes you talked about would seem plausible and reasonable on their face.
The neighbors now, when they think about it, he would come day after day, leave his bus run for a half hour, and they talked about all the McDonald's. He theoretically lived there alone. And the guy who was there in his band and said he couldn't get out of the door, he said, now that I think back about it, he said the windows were all covered and I couldn't get out. I think there were a lot of tales, and the police say they have no reports. We need to be more vigilant.